You don't read my blogs. Well, I'll read them for you. Truth cries for justice. Truth cannot wait for some distant day. It cries for justice in life's display. Lies will falter, deceivers fall. Fairness must rise, a demand for us all. My compass, that pull toward fairness and truth, steadies me in art and in life, and it is also what drives me now to speak about justice. I cannot separate fairness and truth from justice. One demands the other. I was raised in the rituals of Catholic life. Daily Mass was as familiar as breathing, and for a time I even lived in a convent. All of that shaped my language, my senses, my rhythms, but not my belief. Even as a young woman, something inside me never fully accepted what I was being told. As I said in my compass, I don't believe in hell. That dismissal didn't come from carelessness. It began as a question I first dared to ask at 16, and that question shaped everything that followed. I wrote an essay called, Is There a Hell? It wasn't meant to provoke. It was a sincere attempt to understand what justice looked like beyond sermons and absolution. My teacher gave me a D, the only poor grade I ever received, as if the very act of asking the question was a failing. That grade didn't silence me. If anything, it made me more certain that honesty often comes at a price. Greed and power are corrosive. They don't just bend rules, they warp the institutions meant to hold people accountable. When wealth and influence buy silence, when careers and reputations are leveraged to protect the crooked, the harm spreads far beyond one person or one scandal. Families are damaged, communities lose trust, and the public is left to pick up the pieces. Worse still are the patterns we can't ignore, uncomfortable truths that seem to vanish from public view, stories cut short, questions that linger without real answers. What matters is not clinging to rumor, but calling for clear, independent investigation. Transparency should never be optional. I've spent my life asking hard questions, refusing to accept falsehoods. I want to see accountability, not vengeance, but justice. Those who lied, stole, and betrayed the public trust must answer for their actions. If we don't demand consequences, we let corruption keep winning. I want to see justice in my lifetime, and part of that justice for me is stripping away the false authority of those who elevate themselves above others. What troubles me most is the air of superiority some carry, whether through religion, credentials, or status. That posture may look polished, but it undermines trust and weakens families, institutions, and leadership. So, here is my plain truth. I don't believe in hell. I don't judge if you do or don't. What I believe in is justice carried out now, not postponed for another world. I don't want fire and brimstone. I want the record kept straight, lies called out, and betrayal held accountable. Because for me, fairness matters in this life. I can only share what keeps me going, the hunger to ask questions, to witness, to support those who risk telling the truth. It's not easy, but I've seen how persistence can make stories move from whispers to reality. And even in the middle of the struggle, there are those moments I can only call awesome, when light breaks through the cracks and reminds me that change is still possible. Perhaps that awesome light is shining now. Touchstone justice belongs to now. Silence is complicity. Truth and Trilogy, created in a time when our nation reels from violence and division. These works are my way of holding on to truth as compass, justice as demand, and calm as necessity.